In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NHL games happening on December 17, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New Jersey Devils versus St. Louis Blues. The New Jersey Devils are preparing to travel to the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, where they will take on the St. Louis Blues in an exciting matchup. New Jersey enters the game as the second-place team in the Metropolitan Division with an impressive record of 20 wins, 10 losses, and 3 overtime losses. On the other hand, the St. Louis Blues sit in 5th place in the Central Division with a slightly below average record of 15 wins, 14 losses, and 3 overtime losses. In the 2023 to 2024 season, the New Jersey Devils had a 1-0 record in their 2 games played against the Blues, showing that the matchup could go either way depending on the performance of both teams. The St. Louis Blues have had a notable advantage in recent games against the Devils, posting a strong 4-1 record in their last 5 meetings with New Jersey. When looking at individual player performances in net, Jacob Markstrom has struggled against the Blues, recording a disappointing 4-10-2 record in 17 career games with a goals against average of 3 and a save percentage of .885. Meanwhile, Jordan Binnington has had much more success against the Devils, holding a 6-3-0 record in 9 games, with a much improved goals against average of 2.24 and a save percentage of .926. The Blues, fueled by the motivation from their new coach, have shown marked improvement in recent games and have managed to secure several victories, suggesting they are finding their form as a team under his leadership. Despite the St. Louis Blues' recent strong performances, the New Jersey Devils are still regarded as the superior team, and they are likely to receive the benefit of the doubt in this matchup. However, the Blues have been playing some of their best hockey of the season recently, earning points in 8 of their last 10 games, with 6 of those resulting in wins. Notably, the Blues managed to shut out the Devils in their most recent encounter just last month and have come out victorious in 4 of their last 5 games against New Jersey overall. With this in mind, I'm willing to take a chance on the Blues, as they have shown that they are capable of stepping up their game and improving in key areas. Betting on the Blues at 1.4 times my wager seems like a worthwhile opportunity, given the way they have been playing recently and the potential for an upset. Considering the historical trends between these two teams and the potential mismatch in goalkeeping, the St. Louis Blues money line is our full game side pick. When it comes to recent betting trends, the St. Louis Blues have an over-under record of 3-5-2 in their last 10 home games, which indicates some inconsistency in terms of game totals at the Enterprise Center. The New Jersey Devils, in contrast, have a less favorable over-under record of 3-7 in their last 10 games on the road, suggesting that they have struggled to produce high-scoring affairs while away from home. Additionally, the Devils have a 3-6-1 record in their last 10 games against the Blues in terms of over-under totals, reinforcing the trend of lower scoring games when these two teams meet. With this in mind, the Blues will likely rely more heavily on their defense and goaltending to keep the game within reach rather than attempting to outscore their opponent. As such, I anticipate a low-scoring game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Bruins versus Calgary Flames. The Calgary Flames will face off against the Boston Bruins on Tuesday night at the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Flames are currently sitting in 5th place in the Pacific Division, with a record of 35 points accumulated over 31 games. Their performance in recent games has been less than stellar, as they have posted a 3-5-2 record over their last 10 contests. On the other hand, the Boston Bruins find themselves in 3rd place in the Atlantic Division, also with 35 points, but from 32 games played. While both teams have similar point totals, their recent form has shown some contrast in their performances. Looking at the recent history between these two teams, 3 out of their last 4 matchups have ended in overtime, which suggests this could be another close contest. For that reason, I would avoid betting on the spread in this particular game. Calgary has been strong at home this season, with an impressive 11-4-1 record at the Saddledome. despite their overall mediocre performance. Boston, meanwhile, has been a .500 team on the road, which adds some uncertainty to their performance away from home. Statistically, Calgary tends to outperform Boston in most team categories, and while the Bruins secured a 5-1 win over Vancouver, that result could be seen as an outlier, especially considering their losses in previous games. Boston's 4-game winning streak was built against weaker teams like Chicago, Montreal, and Philadelphia, which makes it difficult to fully trust their recent form. While this is not a strong pick, I do believe Boston has shown inconsistency on the road, and Calgary has been at their best when playing in front of their home crowd. Additionally, Boston might be looking ahead to their upcoming matchup against the Edmonton Oilers, which could affect their focus in this game. Before I feel comfortable backing Boston as the favorite, I would need to see them secure multiple quality wins against strong opponents. Calgary, on the other hand, has demonstrated value at home this season, and I'm willing to take a chance on them here. Based on how closely matched these teams are, I think the Flames have a fair shot, making this game feel like a coin flip. Therefore, the Calgary Flames moneyline is our full game side pick. When it comes to the total, Calgary has hit the under in 18 of their 31 games this season, and both teams rank outside the top 25 in goals scored per game. In Boston's last 5 games, the team that won has scored at least 4 goals, so it's possible that this game could see a similar offensive performance. If that happens, I believe Calgary will still be able to score at least twice. Over their last 5 games, Calgary has scored at least 7 total goals combined with their opponents in 4 of them. Although Boston's Jeremy Swayman had a solid performance in his most recent outing, I still need to see more consistency from the Bruins defense to trust them in this matchup. The injury to Hampus Lindholm will also likely provide Calgary with more opportunities to capitalize on offense. Calgary's defense should be able to limit Boston's offense, which has struggled this season, averaging only 2.56 goals per game. Mackenzie Weegar, Rasmus Andersson, and the rest of Calgary's defensive unit have done a good job of creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots, which will allow goaltender Dustin Wolf to make key saves. On the other hand, Boston's defense, led by Nikita Zadorov, Charlie McAvoy, and their defensive core, will look to shut down the Flames' offense, which has averaged only 2.61 goals per game this season. They will aim to force turnovers in the neutral and defensive zones, while goaltender Jeremy Swayman works to keep Calgary's shots to a minimum. Given the lack of offensive production from both teams this season, I expect this game to be a low-scoring affair. While betting on the under is a bit risky, the lack of offensive firepower from both sides makes it a reasonable pick. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Ottawa Senators versus Seattle Kraken. In their most recent game, the Seattle Kraken were thoroughly defeated, and now, in a non-conference matchup, they will host a red-hot Ottawa Senators team that has been on an impressive winning streak. The Senators enter this game having won 3 consecutive matches and 5 out of their last 6. They boast a solid 7-2-1 record over their past 10 games, positioning themselves firmly in the middle of the Eastern Conference standings. Earlier in the season, Ottawa demonstrated their dominance by shutting out the Kraken 3-0 on home ice, marking a convincing victory over their upcoming opponents. The Seattle Kraken have struggled in recent weeks, having lost 2 of their last 3 games and 3 out of their last 5. With a 4-5-1 record in their last 10 games, they find themselves near the bottom of the Western Conference standings, sitting with the 5th fewest points. Their inability to consistently perform, especially defensively, has been a major issue, and they will need to make adjustments if they want to turn things around in this matchup against a surging Senators team. The Ottawa Senators are currently riding a wave of success, with 3 straight victories and 5 wins in their last 6 games. In contrast, the Kraken have been unable to maintain any sustained success, losing 2 of their last 3 games. The Senators' recent strong play has propelled them to the middle of the Eastern Conference, and their defense has been a key factor in their resurgence. During their 5 wins in the past 6 games, Ottawa has allowed only 5 goals, showcasing their ability to control the game defensively. They will aim to continue this strong defensive play as they face the Kraken, a team they shut out earlier this season. While Seattle will likely improve on defense with Daccord expected to start in goal, the Kraken's offensive struggles remain a significant challenge. Though Seattle may limit Ottawa's scoring opportunities, they will still likely fall short, as the Senators' defense is expected to give up fewer goals than the Kraken's. The Seattle Kraken have yet to find any sustained success this season, often finding themselves in situations where their defense collapses under pressure. In stark contrast, the Ottawa Senators are playing some of their best hockey of the year, posting a 7-2-1 record over their last 10 games. Ottawa's defense has been particularly impressive as they managed to shut out the Kraken in their previous meeting last month, and they've now won 3 of their last 4 matchups against Seattle. As Ottawa continues to tighten up defensively, they will likely keep their momentum going in this game, especially against a Kraken team that has struggled to score consistently. Ottawa heads into this matchup riding a 3-game winning streak, having allowed a total of just 3 goals during that stretch. While the Senators have posted a 5-7-1 record on the road this season, they've been effective in limiting scoring chances for their opponents. Meanwhile, the Kraken have shown inconsistency in their play, alternating wins and losses over their last 6 games, and they have lost 6 out of their last 10. Seattle's ongoing issues with scoring goals provide little optimism, especially with Ottawa's defense firing on all cylinders. Given the current form of both teams, the Ottawa Senators' money line is our full game side pick. In their previous meeting this season, the total went under. Ottawa's defense has been stellar recently, having allowed just 5 goals in their 5 victories during the last 6 games. They will likely continue to excel defensively against a Kraken team that has struggled to create offense, having only scored 1 goal in their most recent contest. With Daccord likely starting for Seattle, their defense is expected to improve, as he has been solid in goal. However, despite potential improvements in net, this game is expected to remain a low-scoring affair. Given the lack of offensive firepower from Seattle and Ottawa's tight defensive play, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Winnipeg Jets versus San Jose Sharks. The Winnipeg Jets have experienced a somewhat inconsistent run of form lately, but despite the ups and downs, they are still a top contender in a highly competitive Western Conference. Their remarkable start to the 2024-2025 season has positioned them as one of the leading teams, and they are now aiming to make a serious push for the Stanley Cup. As they continue to build momentum, the Jets are focusing on maintaining their elite level of play as they navigate through the season's challenges. On Tuesday, the Jets will face a surprising test from the San Jose Sharks. While the Sharks have struggled to find consistent momentum this season, they are showing signs of progress. The team may not have been able to string together long winning streaks, but their young and talented core is beginning to shine through. With a group of promising players leading the charge, the Sharks are gradually developing into a more competitive team, signaling that they may be on the verge of taking significant strides forward in the near future. At first glance, this matchup might seem like an easy win for the Winnipeg Jets, given the ongoing rebuild in San Jose. On paper, the Jets appear to be the stronger team by far. However, history tells a different story when these two teams meet. In their last 10 head-to-head matchups, the record is deadlocked at 5-5, with the teams splitting the outcomes of their most recent 2 games played in San Jose. This suggests that, despite the differences in team performance, the Sharks have been able to hold their ground against the Jets in recent years. Despite the even overall record in recent encounters, the Jets have dominated their last 3 meetings with the Sharks, all of which took place in 2024. In those games, Winnipeg has been highly impressive, winning each contest by a combined score of 11-4, with the Jets showing their offensive strength in a dominant 8-point performance in their October matchup in Winnipeg. There's every reason to expect another similar display when they take to the ice again on Tuesday. Their recent success against San Jose should give them confidence heading into this game. As much as it might be tempting to back the Sharks, especially considering they've shown competitiveness at home this season, the reality is that the Jets remain the superior team by a significant margin. Despite some recent struggles and inconsistency, Winnipeg has far more depth and overall skill than San Jose. The Sharks, on the other hand, are still grappling with defensive issues, particularly in terms of keeping the puck out of their net. The Jets will need to capitalize on this opportunity to bounce back and regain some of the momentum they've lost in recent weeks. Expect Winnipeg to showcase their full potential and deliver a strong performance in this matchup. Therefore, our recommendation is to pick the Winnipeg Jets to win and cover the spread as the favorites. When it comes to the over-under for this game, the trend between these two teams has been relatively low-scoring in recent matchups. In the last 10 encounters dating back to October 2021, the over has hit just 3 times out of 7. However, in their lone meeting this season, a high-scoring affair saw a total of 11 goals scored. With the Jets ranking 3rd in the NHL in goals scored, there's a good chance they could replicate a high-scoring performance similar to their 8 goals Bowl outing in October. Looking at their recent trends, the over has hit in 4 of their last 10 games, with Winnipeg averaging exactly 3 goals per game during that stretch. The Sharks, meanwhile, have seen the over hit in 7 of their last 10 games, largely due to their struggles defensively, allowing more than 3.5 goals per game. Given these factors, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.